Got my 6-foot ladder. Oh yeah, here we go. All right, we got a barred unit, R22. Suction pressure is currently 30, little above 30, in between 30 and 35. Suction temperature is 65. This is before we add refrigerant. I'm connected to the suction line of the compressor. And the line's not sweating right now, as you can see. Now let's add refrigerant. Discharge temperature is 137. We're on the discharge line of the compressor now. 138, 140. Always check your filters, make sure your coils aren't super dirty. I can't turn the thermostat below 70 for cooling. So what do? All right, I got a little trick for this. Paper plate, napkin, microwave. All right, let's do this. All right, so it says 70 now, but it won't for too long. Get off there, buddy. All right. Yes. Yeah, leave it in there a few seconds. A few moments later. There we go. Now it'll kick on. So typically the pressures you're going to find in the field for R22 are going to be 70 on the suction. For a perfect 95-degree day, it would be about 70 on the suction right here, which would line up with about 40 on the saturation temperature. And then over here, we're going to probably have, for R22, it just depends, but I would say around 200 for today. But let's hook it up, let's find out. It's about to come back on. We're going to be able to charge it up. So this right here was the little panel on front we take off to get to the compressor, get to our connections for our measuring our refrigerant in the refrigeration system. Then we've got our panel up here for our main disconnect, which is going to be a breaker, and then our electrical components. Then we've got this panel on the front. This is how you access the indoor motor. Okay, so you're going to be able to access your indoor motor. And of course, that's your outdoor motor. Good deal, we're on. So now our suction pressure is up. Let's wait till everything runs for about 10-15 minutes. Then I'll show you the pressures and the temperature. The line is starting to get really cold. Suction line on the compressor starting to get a little sweaty. That's good. Suction pressure is 60. So saturation temperature is about 33, 34. We've got our head pressure at 180, so that's pretty good. Saturation temperature is around 90, a little 93, 94, maybe 92, 93. So we got a 60-degree difference between saturation temperatures, and pressures are looking pretty good, 70 degrees inside. Now the suction temperature's dropped to 51, so 51 and 31, 20 degrees of superheat. We're reaching the 10 to 15. So this unit is just about charged perfectly. This is awesome. Got to have a temperature probe, temperature clamp, and then you've got to have a way to read the temperature. 49 degrees. This unit is very close to being charged. We got to check superheat and subcooling though. That's what matters. And if you want to learn more, check out my playlist, HVAC Tips for Technicians. Working on a little barred unit on the wall. Easy to work on. Make sure you have a 6-foot ladder. All right, now charging some R410A equipment. I'm going to show you the pressures here. We got the clamp on temperature probe or thermometer on the suction line of the compressor, vapor line going into the compressor. It's 61 degrees. Same thing. We're trying to pretty much get the same saturation temperatures, except the pressures are different. Pressures are higher. Suction's 125 right now. Head pressure's 300. We're working in the server room. Right now it's 80 degrees in the server room. So I probably need to get it up here a little bit, maybe in between. See, it's 125 now, but because we have a different indoor temperature, you know, it's a little hotter, we need to get it up here, maybe about 135, 145, and it'll be charged. That temperature there will drop. Head pressure is already pretty high, 300, but we're going to be a little bit higher by the time this ends, probably about 325. All right, let's add some refrigerant and see how that suction temperature changes. 410A. Sometimes it takes a pound, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 pounds. Get some scales, make sure you have scales to weigh your refrigerant so you know how much you're putting in. You'll check factory charge, and you'll get so good at this, you'll be like, it's halfway. You know, there's only half the refrigerant in the system. You'll know just judging off the standing pressure when you put the gauges on. Look at this, 49 degrees. We dropped that temperature quick. Dropped it quick. And now our suction pressure is 130. So we moved up about 5 or 6 psi. And then this is same thing, about 5 psi, but it was enough. See, our saturation temperature is 45. So that was enough though to just start making this line really cold, start sweating. Sometimes it doesn't take much. I wanted to show you the difference between R22 and 410A pressures in the same video. Is that barred unit on the trailer earlier was R22. This split system is R410A. This is for a server room. If you want to know what how head pressure control wires up, more about a head pressure control, because that's what this has on it, low ambient kit, then check out my video on my playlist Tips for Technicians. I have a video on head pressure controls. All right, this unit's charged as well. 48 degrees, wow, on the vapor line going in. That's nice. And our superheat, since we have 48, and then over here we have about 44, superheat on this is about 5 degrees. Definitely check subcooling though. If you want to know how to check superheat and subcooling, again, go to my playlist, HVAC Tips for Technicians. These disconnects are labeled. See, it says 202 HVAC, 202 HVAC 2, and then they've got a tag right here, and then a tag right here. So that's unit number 1, unit number 2. So this is definitely the right disconnect. Number 3 goes to number 3. But in some cases, it's not labeled this well. So make sure you know which disconnect goes to which piece of equipment. Guys, I found Pee Wee Herman's service van. Look at this, Pee Wee Herman.